Hi, this is James Cook. I'm recording this video for students in the middle of a semester. Students who are taking a 100 level course, who are likely in their first or their second semester of the college experience. I'm recording this because many of you may be having a feeling right now, this feeling that I don't belong here, this feeling like this is not a place where I can find a space, that perhaps even I'm a fraud, everyone's going to find out that I'm not really actually meant to be here. Are you feeling like this? If so, I want to let you know that that kind of feeling in the first semester or two of university experience or college experience is absolutely normal. It's just that most people don't talk about it. If you look at students to your left, if you look at students to your right, one of the two of them is probably feeling the same way if they're in a similar situation that you're in. So why do we feel this way, and what can you do about it? Well, in sociology, Erving Goffman proposes a dramaturgical theory within the paradigm of symbolic interactionism. This paradigm, symbolic interactionism, is one that suggests that life is best understood as a series of communications between people in which we share our expectations with one another through communication that involves symbolic meaning and a sense of identity that we work out through interaction. Erving Goffman has a particular kind of theory called dramaturgical theory within symbolic interactionism. And in dramaturgical theory, he says life is like a stage. Shakespeare wasn't wrong. We strut and fret upon the stage. And what are we trying to do when we're on this stage, like a theater stage? We're working out scenes. We're playing roles, and we're trying to interact with others in ways that make the scene come off as if it were real. So if life is like a stage and we're trying to fill out a scene, each of us has a role, right? And if that means that you are now on a stage when you're taking an introduction to sociology class, your job right now is to learn that role, to learn the lines, and to be able to carry out a scene between you as a student and me as your professor, your teacher, and to carry that out well. Well, let's take that analogy and run with it. If you're going to just step on stage, it becomes important to learn your lines, right? And until you do learn your lines, and until you have practiced a lot, you're liable to feel that this role that you're stepping into is not really you. It doesn't feel actual. It doesn't feel like it's the true you, because, of course, it's not. You're on a stage, and you're playing out a part. So the feeling that this is not really you, that you're a fraud, is absolutely normal, because that's all we do, according to Goffman, throughout our lives, is take on new roles in these stage plays of the self in interaction with others. And so when we have new roles, of course we feel like frauds, because we haven't learned the role yet. So all you need is a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, and it'll work out. And in fact, if you think about what it means to be on a stage, right? What's your job if you're an actor? It is not actually to become the person that you're playing. It is to accurately simulate that. So if you can stand on a stage, and if you can deliver lines in exactly the way that the character would, and impersonate the character and that role of the lifetime in such a way that no one watching you can tell the difference between you and the role, then you've done a great job in acting. Similarly, if learning in a university environment and playing the role of student is dramaturgical, which is just a fancy word for like a theater play, then All you need to do in order to succeed is to be an increasingly successful fraud, right? Take that feeling of being a fraud, a faker, where you're just playing at being a student, and go with it. Fine. All you need to do is learn to play that role of a student so you can fake it in better and better and better detail. Consider it your project to impersonate someone who belongs as a student. And if you can impersonate such a person to a really high quality degree, then you will be indistinguishable from a high quality student. And that means that actually, according to Goffman, you've become that high quality student. You can take that on as an aspect of your identity, and you've succeeded. If you can impersonate for me the best student that's out there, then you are the best student that's out there. So, I know about what it feels like to think you don't belong, feel like maybe you want to quit, because that was me when I went to college. Just to share a little bit of personal story, I came from a very small farm town where very few people went to college. Off I went, and all of a sudden in my first semester I found myself in a 100 level class, surrounded by all these students talking about issues like questions of semantics and the structural inequality inherent in the system. And I'd never heard of that stuff. I had no idea what they were talking about. They all seemed to know what they were talking about, and so I thought something must be wrong with me. I didn't understand at the time that they were just a little bit more practiced at the role playing than I was. And that was because they'd been around for another semester or two, a bit longer than I had. If you spend a long enough time taking these courses at the university, you're going to learn new things. You're going to learn new lines, new vocabulary, and you're going to get more comfortable taking on these roles. It'll happen. In the meantime, sometimes it's going to hurt, just like I felt a lot of hurt, and I felt a lot of self-doubt when I was an undergraduate. I've had a lot of students tell me they feel the same, that they feel this unsettled aspect to their being. And there's a reason for that. Who you have been and who you're going to be are very different. The role of a college student is transformation, to become what you are not. That's a hard job. That's growth. And it's strengthening. And strengthening and growth hurt. So a little of that feeling is a sign that actually you're on the right track. If you are absolutely comfortable, if you could do everything that was required of a university student in a university class right from day one, well, then why would you need to take any university courses? If you're paying for this university education, you should be paying for an experience that forces you to grow. And that sometimes leads to a bit of soreness, just like working out at the gym leads to a bit of soreness. But it leads to this greater strength. And I'd just like to ask you to keep up with it. If you're here at the university and you're taking courses at the university, it's because you can do it. And all you have to do is keep at it, go through that process, keep trying the lines, keep trying the role, keep practicing, and you can do it.